Excited hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Curious, are you planning to travel with your laptop, tablet, or those new smart devices you got for the holidays? Well, before you pack that carry-on, there's something critical you need to know about TSA regulations that have changed dramatically, and most travelers have absolutely no idea. That title sounds scary, I know, but here's the thing. I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to prepare you, because nothing is more stressful than standing at security, holding up the line, while a TSA agent pulls your expensive electronics out of your bag and tells you they can't go through. Size. Trust me, I've watched this happen hundreds of times, and the confusion and frustration on travelers' faces breaks my heart, especially when it's completely avoidable. I'm Anna, and I've been a flight attendant for 15 years. I've seen every kind of security screening situation you can imagine, and I've helped countless passengers navigate these exact issues. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 specific electronics that TSA is now confiscating or restricting in 2026. Devices that airlines don't advertise clearly and that many travelers don't even realize are problematic until it's too late. Here's what you need to understand. TSA regulations are constantly evolving based on safety concerns, new technology, and international security standards. What was perfectly fine to bring on board 2 years ago might be completely prohibited today. And here's the frustrating part. The burden is on you to know these rules before you get to the airport. Just last week, I watched a lovely couple in their late 60s have to surrender a brand new portable charger at security because it exceeded the new wattage limits. They had no idea. The device cost them over $80, and there was nothing anyone could do once TSA flagged it. This happens every single day, and it's completely preventable with the right information. I'm going to walk you through 5 essential electronics that are either completely banned, heavily restricted, or require special handling in 2026. Some of these might surprise you. I know they surprised me when the regulations first changed. And before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss important travel updates like this. Your fellow travelers are counting on you to share this information too. Tip number 1. High-capacity power banks over 100 watt-hours. The problem situation. Let me tell you what really happens at security checkpoints every single day. Travelers show up with these massive portable chargers, the kind that promise to charge your phone 10 times over, and they have absolutely no idea that TSA has strict wattage limits. You know that feeling when you think you're being smart and prepared by bringing backup power for a long travel day? Well, if that power bank is too powerful, it's getting confiscated on the spot. Most passengers don't know this, but not all portable chargers are created equal in TSA's eyes. I've seen people argue, plead, and even cry when they realize their $150 high-capacity power bank can't go through security. And here's the worst part. There's usually no way to mail it home or store it. You just have to surrender it. The insider secret solution. Here's the truth that electronics manufacturers don't make clear on their packaging. TSA has a hard limit of 100 watt-hours, WH, for power banks in carry-on luggage. Anything over that is completely prohibited. You can't check it, you can't carry it on, it simply cannot fly on a commercial aircraft. Power banks between 100 and 160 WD require airline approval, which most don't give, and anything over 160 WD is banned outright. In my 15 years of flying, I've watched this rule become much more strictly enforced, especially since 2024. Why? Because lithium-ion batteries pose a fire risk, and the larger the capacity, the greater the danger if something goes wrong at 35,000 feet. Airlines won't tell you this, but there have been incidents, serious ones, that led to these regulations being tightened. Here's what makes this tricky. Most power banks don't clearly display their watt-hour rating. They show milliamp hours, mAh, instead, so you need to do the math yourself. The formula is mAh x voltage, 1000 UH. Most power banks use 3.7 V, so a $27,000 mAh power bank is actually 99.9. Wait, just barely legal. But a $30,000 mAh, That's 111 WH and it's getting confiscated. Practical action steps. Before you pack any power bank, check the watt-hour rating. If it's not printed on the device, look at the MAH rating and do the calculation I just gave you. Better yet, write the WH rating on the power bank itself with a permanent marker. This actually helps TSA agents process you faster. My recommendation, stick with power banks rated at $20,000, $27,000 in your MAH. These are powerful enough for travel, but stay safely under the 100 WH limit. Brands like Anchor and RavPower usually print the WH rating clearly. Keep your power bank in your carry-on, never in checked luggage, that's actually prohibited, and have it easily accessible when you go through security. Now, let's talk about another electronic device that's causing major headaches at security checkpoints, and this one might be sitting in your garage right now. Tip Bummer 2. E-bikes, hoverboards, and devices with lithium batteries, over 160. The problem situation. Are you planning to bring your electric scooter, hoverboard, or e-bike battery on vacation? I hate to break it to you, but TSA and airlines have effectively banned these items from commercial flights, and most travelers don't find out until they're at the airport with a $500 device they can't take with them. I've seen families arrive at the airport with their child's hoverboard, planning to use it at their destination, only to be told there's absolutely no way it can fly. The confusion and disappointment is heartbreaking, especially when they've already paid for the trip and made plans around having that device. And here's what really frustrates me. The regulations aren't clearly posted on most airline websites. You have to dig deep into the fine print to find this information. The insider secret solution. Here's what they don't tell you when you're shopping for these devices. Almost all hoverboards, electric scooters, and e-bike batteries contain lithium batteries that exceed the 160 WH limit. Most hoverboards have batteries ranging from 160, 400 WH, and e-bike batteries, those can be 400, 700 WH, or even higher. But don't worry, I've got your back. There's a critical distinction you need to understand. Some newer, smaller electric mobility devices are designed specifically with airline travel in mind and use batteries under 100 WH. These are allowed, but you need documentation proving the battery capacity. I once saw a savvy passenger who brought the manufacturer's specification sheet showing their foldable e-scooter had a 99 WH battery. TSA let it through without issue. In most cases, though, these devices are completely prohibited, and unlike other items, you can't even check them in your luggage. The FAA has banned large lithium batteries in cargo holds due to fire risk. Trust me on this. I've been through evacuation training for lithium battery fires, and they're terrifying. That's why the rules are so strict. Practical action steps. If you're planning to travel and need personal mobility devices, do this. Contact your airline at least 48 hours before your flight and ask specifically about your device model and battery capacity. Get the answer in writing via email if possible. For e-bike enthusiasts, consider shipping your battery separately through a carrier that handles hazardous materials, or look into rental programs at your destination. For hoverboards and e-scooters, honestly, leave them at home or plan to rent at your destination. It's not worth the risk of having an expensive device confiscated. If you absolutely must travel with an electric mobility device for accessibility reasons, research airline-approved models beforehand and carry documentation proving the battery specifications. Speaking of batteries, here's another device that's been getting travelers in trouble, and it's something many of you might have in your bathroom right now. Tip number 3, certain smart luggage with non-removable batteries. The problem situation. Smart luggage was all the rage a few years ago. Built-in chargers, GPS tracking, digital locks, the works. Maybe you received one as a gift, or maybe you treated yourself to one, thinking it would make travel so much easier. But here's the problem that most passengers don't realize. If that smart luggage has a non-removable lithium battery, it cannot be checked, and depending on the size, it might not fit as a carry-on either. I'll never forget watching a businesswoman at the gate trying to check her expensive smart suitcase because the overhead bins were full. The gate agent had to refuse it because the battery couldn't be removed. She ended up missing her flight trying to figure out what to do with it. You know that feeling when you're rushing to make a flight and suddenly everything falls apart? That was her reality, all because of a battery she didn't even know was an issue. The insider's secret stash solution. Here's what really happens behind the scenes. Airlines updated their policies on smart luggage back in 2018-2019, but many people are still traveling with older models that don't comply. The rule is simple but strict. If the battery can be removed, you can check the bag as long as you remove the battery and carry it with you. If the battery is built in and cannot be removed, the bag can only be carried on, never checked. Most passengers don't know this, but the reason for this rule is the same as other lithium battery restrictions. Fire safety in the cargo hold. If a lithium battery malfunctions in the cabin, crew can access fire suppression equipment immediately. In the cargo hold, that's a completely different and much more dangerous situation. Here's the insider tip that'll save you so much hassle. Before you travel with smart luggage, locate the battery compartment and make sure you can easily remove the battery. Time yourself. Can you remove it in under 30 seconds? Because that's about how long you'll have if a gate agent asks you to do it before checking your bag. Keep the battery in a clear plastic bag in your personal item so it's easily accessible. Practical action steps. Check your smart luggage right now before your next trip. Find the battery, practice removing it, and test that you can reinstall it easily. If the battery is permanently installed and can't be removed, you have two choices. Only use that bag as a carry-on or invest in new luggage. If you're shopping for new luggage, look for models with easily removable batteries that have clear instructions. Better yet, consider whether you really need smart luggage at all. A regular suitcase, plus a separate power bank, under 100 watt of course, gives you more flexibility and fewer headaches at security. Always carry the battery separately when checking smart luggage, and keep the manufacturer's specifications handy in case TSA or airline staff have questions. Now, here's something that shocked even me when I first learned about it. Certain vape devices and e-cigarettes are facing new restrictions. Tip number 4. High-powered vaping devices and loose lithium batteries. The problem situation. If you or a loved one uses vaping devices, this is critical information. Most people know that vaping devices must go in carry-on luggage, never checked bags. But what many travelers don't realize is that TSA has gotten much stricter about how these devices are packed, and certain high-powered models are now prohibited entirely. Just last month, I had a passenger who had his vaping device confiscated because the batteries were loose in his bag without protective cases. He'd traveled with it that way dozens of times before without issue, but TSA regulations have been tightened significantly. The frustration on his face was real. He felt like the rules had changed without warning. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. These updates don't get the publicity they deserve. The insider secret solution. Here's the truth that vape shops don't always explain. TSA now requires that all spare lithium batteries, including those for vaping devices, be individually protected to prevent short circuits. That means each battery must be in its original packaging, a battery case, or have terminals covered with tape. Loose batteries rolling around in your carry-on? That's an automatic confiscation. But there's more. In my 15 years of flying, I've seen the regulations on vaping devices evolve dramatically. High-powered mod devices with batteries exceeding certain wattages are now facing additional scrutiny. Some international destinations have banned them entirely, and TSA is coordinating with international standards. Here's what most passengers don't realize. If your vaping device uses external batteries, the kind you remove and charge separately, those batteries are subject to the same watt-hour limits as power banks. Most 18650 batteries used in vaping devices are around 10 to 13 UHs each, so they're fine. But if you're carrying multiple spares, you need to keep them properly protected. And here's the kicker. Some newer, more powerful devices are approaching or exceeding the limits. Practical action steps. If you vape and travel, invest in a proper battery case immediately. These cost just a few dollars and will save you from having batteries confiscated. Store your vaping device in a clear plastic bag in an easily accessible part of your carry-on so you can remove it quickly during screening. Check the watt-hour rating of your batteries. If you're using standard 18650 or similar batteries, you're typically fine, but verify this before you travel. Keep devices turned off and, if possible, remove the batteries during flight. Never, ever pack vaping devices or spare batteries in checked luggage. This is actually a federal violation and can result in serious penalties. The cargo hold environment can cause batteries to overheat, and there have been actual fires caused by this. If you're traveling internationally, research your destination's vaping laws before you go. Some countries have completely banned vaping devices, and showing up with one can result in confiscation, fines, or even legal trouble. Let me share something with you that even surprised some of my fellow flight attendants: the new restrictions on older laptop models. Tip number 5. Recalled laptops and devices with known battery issues. The problem situation. Have you ever wondered why TSA agents sometimes ask about your laptop model? It's not random curiosity. They're checking against a database of recalled devices with dangerous battery defects. And here's what's alarming. Thousands of travelers are still using laptops and tablets that have been officially recalled due to fire risk, and they have no idea their device is on the banned list. I've seen this happen more times than I can count. A passenger confidently places their laptop in the bin, TSA scans it, and suddenly there's a supervisor being called over. The laptop model has been flagged. In my 15 years of flying, I've watched people lose expensive MacBooks, HP laptops, and even certain Samsung tablets because those specific models were subject to battery recalls, and the travelers simply didn't know. You're not imagining it. This is getting more common. As lithium battery incidents have increased industry-wide, TSA and airlines have become much more proactive about screening for problematic devices. The insider secret solution. Here's what they don't tell you when you buy electronics. Manufacturers issue recalls all the time, but the notification systems are terrible. You might have registered your laptop when you bought it, but if you've since moved or changed email addresses, you'd never receive the recall notice. And here's the scary part. Some of these recalled devices have actually caught fire on aircraft. That's not fear-mongering, that's reality. Behind the scenes, we actually have protocols for dealing with smoking or burning electronics on board. And trust me, you don't want to be the passenger whose device triggers that emergency. The FAA maintains a list of recalled or banned electronic devices, and TSA has access to this database. Notable recalls that are still affecting travelers include certain MacBook Pro models from 2015-2017, specific HP and Dell laptop models, and various Samsung devices. But don't worry, I've got your back. The key is checking whether your device is on the recall list before you get to the airport. Most manufacturers will replace recalled batteries for free, but you need to initiate the process. Practical action steps. Before your next trip, go to the Consumer Product Safety Commission website, cpsc.gov, and search for your laptop, tablet, and other electronic devices to see if there are any active recalls. It takes just a few minutes and could save you from losing an expensive device. Check your manufacturer's website directly as well. Companies like Apple, Dell, HP, and Samsung have dedicated recall pages where you can enter your device's serial number to check its status. If your device is on a recall list, contact the manufacturer immediately. Many offer free battery replacements, or in some cases, device exchanges. Do not travel with the device until the issue is resolved. It's not worth the risk to you or other passengers. Keep documentation handy when traveling with newer electronics. If your laptop is a model that looks similar to a recalled version, having proof that your specific serial number is not affected can speed up security screening. Now here's an electronic item that's becoming incredibly popular but is causing confusion at checkpoints, and it's something you might wear on your wrist. Okay friends, let's recap the most important takeaways from today's video, because this information could save you hundreds of dollars and hours of stress. First, always check the watt-hour rating of your power banks and portable electronics before you pack. Remember, 100 wattage is the hard limit for carry-on, and anything over that gets confiscated. Do the math, label your devices, and when in doubt, stick with smaller capacity power banks that you know are compliant. Second, if you're traveling with smart luggage, vaping devices, or medical electronics, have your documentation ready and know the rules specific to your items. A few minutes of preparation before your trip can prevent disasters at the airport. And third, and this is so important, check for recalls on your electronics before every trip. The CPSC website takes just minutes to search, and it could literally save your expensive devices from confiscation. Listen, I know these rules can feel overwhelming, especially when they seem to change constantly, but don't worry, you've got this. The fact that you're watching this video means you're already ahead of 95% of travelers. You're preparing, you're learning, and you're taking control of your travel experience. That's exactly what I want for you. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a loved one who travels, especially anyone over 60 who might not be aware of these updated regulations. Your fellow travelers will thank you, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever had electronics confiscated at security? What happened? I read every comment, and your experiences help other travelers learn and prepare. We're all in this together. Safe travels, everyone. See you in the next video, where I'll be sharing insider secrets about airline seating that could change the way you book flights forever. Until then, check those batteries, pack smart, and fly confident.